Guys, hold on to your hats because I have some absolutely huge breaking NFL news that just landed. The deal is done. The trade has officially happened. And it's without a doubt one of the biggest, most eye-popping moves in recent NFL history. The Dallas Cowboys have pulled off a blockbuster by acquiring none other than Treylon Burks, the dynamic wide receiver from the Tennessee Titans. That's right, Treylon Burks in Dallas, ready to wear the star, enjoying one of the most storied franchises in the league. This move is set to shake up the NFC East and change the trajectory of the Cowboys' offense moving forward. If you're a Cowboys fan or just an NFL junkie, this is the kind of news you don't want to miss. So, buckle up as we dive deep into everything you need to know about this trade, what it means for Treylon, the Cowboys, the Titans, fantasy football, and the NFL at large. First, let's set the scene with who Treylon Burks is and why this trade is such a big deal. Treylon Burks was a highly touted prospect coming out of the University of Arkansas, where he was an absolute force. In college, Burks was a physical specimen standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and packing 225 pounds of pure power, with the speed and agility to burn defenders. He wasn't just big, he was smart, skilled, and had an undeniable knack for making big plays. His senior year, he racked up over 1,100 receiving yards and double-digit touchdowns, cementing himself as a first-round talent heading into the 2022 NFL Draft. The Tennessee Titans swooped in and grabbed him 18th overall, hoping he would be a key piece in their offense for years to come. Now, here's the catch. Burks' NFL journey hasn't been the smooth, breakout story that many predicted. Injuries have derailed what could have been a faster ascent to stardom. From nagging knee problems to an ACL tear that sidelined him for a significant portion of last season, Burks has had to battle adversity early on. Still, the flashes of brilliance were there every time he took the field. His size and catch radius made him a nightmare matchup, and when healthy, he showed he could dominate in contested catch situations and turn short catches into long gains. But the Titans, dealing with their own roster challenges and salary cap considerations, apparently decided it was time to move on and get value for a player who hasn't yet fully lived up to his draft status but still carries massive upside. Enter the Dallas Cowboys. This franchise, known for its rich history and passionate fan base, has been quietly building a young, explosive offense around their franchise quarterback Dak Prescott. They already boast an elite receiver in CeeDee Lamb, but after Lamb, the depth chart was a bit shaky. The Cowboys have cycled through multiple second and third options, often struggling to find a consistent number 2 receiver who can take pressure off Lamb and make big plays downfield. They brought in veterans like Brandon Cooks, but injuries and inconsistency limited his impact. The addition of Treylon Burks signals a bold, aggressive move by the Cowboys front office, one that says they believe Burks can be the game-changing piece. They're betting on his talent and potential over the risk of injury, hoping that with the Cowboys' medical staff, offensive system, and a fresh start, Burks will unlock the next level of his game. This trade also represents a strategic shift in the NFC East landscape. The Cowboys, always hungry to compete for Super Bowls, now have a potential weapon that could redefine their passing attack. Imagine the possibilities: Dak Prescott with 2 physical, fast, and dynamic receivers in Lamb and Burks. It forces defenses into tough decisions, spreading coverage thin, and creating mismatches all over the field. If Burks can stay healthy and click with Prescott, the Cowboys' offense could become one of the deadliest in the NFL. And that means more scoring, more exciting games, and a higher ceiling for Dallas in the coming seasons. From the Titans' perspective, moving Burks may seem like a surprise on the surface, but it makes sense when you consider their roster construction and cap situation. Tennessee's offense is evolving, and they have emerging weapons they want to build around. Plus, moving Burks frees up draft capital or salary cap room to invest in other positions of need. It also shows a win-now mentality, where they might be looking for more immediate contributors rather than waiting on a player with injury risks. This trade gives the Titans flexibility to reload and adapt their roster, possibly targeting other skill position players or shoring up the offensive line to protect their quarterback better. Let's also talk about the fantasy football implications because this move is massive for that world too. Treylon Burks going to Dallas changes everything for fantasy managers looking for value picks. Before the trade, Burks was often seen as a risky, boom or bust player due to his health. But now, in an offense with Dak Prescott and better supporting weapons, Burks suddenly becomes a highly intriguing sleeper. If he stays healthy, he could be a WR2 or flex starter in many fantasy leagues. He'll likely have plenty of opportunities for targets, and the Cowboys' offense is known for throwing the ball downfield to create explosive plays. Fantasy football analysts will be watching his preseason snaps like hawks because his draft stock could skyrocket fast. For anyone who scoops him up early or mid-round, Burks could be a steal, potentially the difference between winning and losing your fantasy league. Of course, this trade isn't without risk. Burks' injury history looms large, and the Cowboys are taking a gamble. But with great risk comes great reward, and the Dallas medical and training staff have a solid track record of managing players and getting them back on the field in top form. The Cowboys are confident in their ability to help Burks stay healthy, and the offensive coaching staff will design plays to maximize his strengths while minimizing physical wear and tear. From route running to red zone targets, the Cowboys see a huge upside here. Another key factor in this trade is how it affects team chemistry and locker room dynamics. Burks is known as a hard worker and team player, someone who has a chip on his shoulder and a desire to prove doubters wrong. Joining a team with established stars and a winning culture could be just what he needs to thrive. The Cowboys' locker room is a mix of youth and veteran leadership, and adding a player with Burks' skill set and mindset can only boost morale and competition. Plus, fans love the energy of a player hungry to make an impact. Expect Burks to be welcomed warmly and given every chance to succeed. Let's also consider the bigger picture of the NFL landscape. Trades like this remind us how dynamic and unpredictable the league can be. Just a few years ago, a first-round wide receiver like Burks might have seemed untouchable. But injuries, team needs, and strategy evolve quickly, forcing front offices to make tough decisions. This trade highlights the Cowboys' aggressive approach to building a championship-caliber team, showing they're willing to make bold moves to upgrade their roster. Meanwhile, the Titans show they're not afraid to shake things up in pursuit of their goals. It's a win-win scenario where both teams get something they desperately need. Looking ahead to the upcoming season, all eyes will be on Treylon Burks as he suits up in silver and blue. Cowboys fans will be watching training camp closely, hoping to see Burks making impressive catches, running crisp routes, and building chemistry with Dak Prescott. Analysts will debate whether this trade was a stroke of genius or a risky move that could backfire. But one thing's for sure, the NFL just got a lot more exciting. To wrap up, this trade is a massive shakeup that brings a ton of intrigue and excitement. Treylon Burks has a fresh opportunity to write the next chapter of his career on one of the biggest stages in sports. The Dallas Cowboys have just added a high-upside weapon to their arsenal, potentially changing the way their offense operates for the better. The Tennessee Titans get flexibility and can refocus their roster efforts. Fantasy football managers should update their rankings and keep an eye on Burks' progress because his value could explode. Injuries remain a concern, but with the right support system and coaching, Burks could very well become the star many expected him to be when he entered the league. So, what do you think about this trade? Are the Cowboys making a brilliant move, or is this a risky gamble? Can Treylon Burks finally break out and become a star in Dallas? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your take. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more NFL news and analysis, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update on all things football. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more hot NFL content.